Good morning, students. In previous class, what we studied? In previous class, we started that particular vertebrata, that Nitrostomata. So in that, we are going to be fishes which are completed. So in that, particularly chondrichthyes fishes as well as the osteichthyes fishes which are completed. Today, we are going to start remaining those Nitrostomata in that tetrapoda. Which are those particular things which are having that we are going to start tetrapoda. So in the tetrapoda, if you try to remember tetrapoda, so in that I already told you. So in this tetrapoda, this one amphibia, is that right? Tetrapoda, which is going to be differentiated into amphibia, reptiles, aves or birds, next mammals. Is that right? So this only I told in previous class that and all. Okay. So first what we are going to, these tetrapoda having general characteristic features. We are going to be go through that general characteristic features. Okay. Tetrapoda general characteristic features first. Name itself indicating that tetra. What is that? Four poda limbs. Four limbs which are going to be present. Four limbs are present. Four limbs are present in all the organisms which are going to be present. Of course, here it is. These in birds, four limbs which are going to be modified into wings. Okay. So anyhow, four limbs which are going to be present. Okay. And next, these organisms which are have lungs for respiration. Some are organisms which can able to survive in water and land also. Amphibia. So amphibia, of course, a particular organisms we can able to take it. Particular organisms which we can able to take it. General and respiration which is going to be taken through the lungs that and all. Next, so these are having a special sense organs. Special sense organs which are having for sense organs for vision, smell, etc. Special sense organs which are going to present. What we are going to see that and all we are going to see later on these particular animals. Okay, so these are the general characteristic features which are going to be present. Now we are going to start with amphibia. Okay, so in these amphibia, first very little characteristic features we are going to go through one by one. First, amphibia. Here it is. Amphi. What is mean by amphi? Here it is. Dios. Dual life. Dual. Bia means bio. So organisms which are going to be survive in water as well as the water. They can able to survive in water as well as land. On land. These organisms which are going to be present in water as well as the land. Simply they can able to survive in water also. They can able to survive on land also. These organisms can able to survive in water. These organisms also which are going to survive on land. You understand what I am going to say? Okay. And these organisms are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. What is mean by cold-blooded? Cold-blooded animals, also known as ectotherms. These things are very, very important. So many times I am repeating. Please, also known as phycilotherms. Cold-blooded animals, also known as ectotherms, also known as phycilotherms. What does it mean? These organisms cannot regulate their body temperature. cannot regulate their body temperature. What the environment which is having their body also these organisms are having. This we are going to be comes under cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. And these amphibia animals having especially for the respiration by lungs, respiration by the lungs, pharyngeal, buccopharyngeal cavity, buccopharyngeal cavity. So here it is buccal pharynx in that oral cavity as well as the pharynx region. They are going to be respiration takes place, and gills and skin. With the skin also, these organisms can able to respire through the buccopharyngeal cavity, lungs, skin, and gills. Lungs, skin, and gills. Okay, do you understand what I'm going to say? And these organisms having I'm going to write here it is to without it get confusion. These organisms, heart is three chambered, two auricles and one ventricle. Two auricles and one ventricle. So those are sinus chambers, sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. Sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. These are the chambers which are going to be present in these animals. Okay, and particularly in these organisms, kidneys are mesonephric. And kidneys which are going to be mesonephric, and ears which are having particularly generally ears, whatever the ears having tympanum, nothing but it is a eardrum. If you take our ear, generally inside it is going to be external cavity which is going to be external mediate which is going to present in the tube like structure. Then after that final which leads to the middle ear. Then after that inner ear, external ear, middle ear, inner ear. In that external ear to middle ear, particularly tympanum which is going to present. So here in these animals also, what we call amphibia also, tympanum which is going to present. It is the eardrum which is going to be amplify the sounds, which is responsible for the amplification of the sounds, and one ear ossicle which is going to present. Ear ossicle means bone, one which is going to present. Ear ossicle which is going to be one which is going to present. That we are going to call it as columella oris. One ear bone which is going to present, that we are going to call it as columella oris. Okay, and these which are going to present in water. So particularly, so that's what in these amphibia, if you take in these frogs which are going to become under now. So in that frogs, particularly if it is frog in tadpole larva, if it is in tadpole larva, lower classes you studied, is that right? Tadpole larva. So this tadpole larva, it is ammonotelic. Means ammonia, they are going to release the excretory material, and adult frog is going to be, this is the ureotelic. So it is going to be released the urea. Okay, release urea. So that is about that particular. Next, how many pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present? These amphibians which are having 10 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present. 10 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present. 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Previous questions regarding that. Frogs having how many pairs of cranial nerves? Frogs having how many pairs of cranial nerves? They asked 10, 11, 12, 13, like that they asked. 10 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to be present. 10 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to be present. Okay. This is about simple general characteristic features of amphibia. Now we are going to see the amphibia, how which is going to be differentiated into three orders. How which is going to be differentiated into three orders. Amphibia, which is differentiated into three orders. So first one is going to be Apoda, Urodila. These are the orders. Apoda, Urodila, Anura. Apoda, here it is. No limbs. Limbs are absent. Limbs are absent. Okay, this example here it is Ichthyopsis. What is that? Ichthyopsis. Ichthyopsis, it is a limbless amphibian. It is also known as blind worm. You should remember. This is also known as blind worm. So many examples they asked. Ichthyopsis, it is comes under amphibia of Apoda. It is a limbless amphibian. It is a limbless amphibian. Limbless amphibian. And also it is going to be called as blind worm. Blind worm. This also we are going to call it as blind worm. This also we are going to call it as blind worm. Next, another Urodila. Urodila. Here it is tail which is going to be present. Tail present. Euro tail. Okay, present. Here it is tail is absent. Tail absent. Tail is absent. Tail is absent. Tail is absent. Tail is going to be absent. Here it is example Urodila, salamander. Example salamander. Next Anura. Here it is example Bifo, Rana, Hyla. These are the frogs. These are the frogs. Before Rana, Hyla. So these are the frogs. So before toad, before this is the toad. This is also toad. Of course, this is also frogs. So this is about amphibia orders. This is about amphibia orders. Here it is amphibia orders which are going to be differentiated into three orders: Apoda, Urodila, Anura. So in that Apoda, limbs are going to be absent. Example Ichthyopsis. Blind worm. It is also blindless, but limbless amphibian and blind worm. So many examples. This one asked Ichthyopsis, amphibia, reptiles, like that they asked in previous questions. Next, salamander. This also, whether it is amphibia or reptiles or like that they asked. Anura, it is tail which is going to be absent. These are frogs which are comes under in this before Rana, Hyla. Before Rana, Hyla. So this is about amphibia. Now we are going to see the another, what is that? Reptiles. We are going to see the reptiles. So these reptiles, particularly reptiles, general characteristic features. Reptiles. Creep. Reptile means creep or crawl. Creep or crawl animals. Creep or crawling animals. Creeping or crawling animals. Reptiles means creeping or crawling animals. And these are going to be first true land vertebrates. What are these? These are the true land vertebrates. These are first true land vertebrates. These are the first true land vertebrates. These are the first true land vertebrates. You just go through that. true land vertebrates, and in these limbs which are going to be present, limbs which are going to be present, if it is two, in that some of the, of course, snakes which are may not be limbs. What is that? Limbs which are going to be present. Limbs when present are two pairs. Limbs if limbs are if present, two pairs which are going to be present. Two pairs which are going to be present. Okay, two pairs which are going to be present. Next, in these organisms, particularly reptiles, heart is three chambered. Heart is three chambered. Heart is three chambered, but except crocodiles. Crocodile is four chambered. Crocodile is four chambered heart which is going to be present. Okay, don't get any confusion. These organisms, skull of these organisms, skull is monocondylic. Monocondylic. Earlier I forgot to mention. Please go through. So in these amphibians are, here it is, skull is dicondylic. Dicondylic. What is mean by dicondylic? In previous session I told you already. In previous session I told you what is monocondylic and what is dicondylic. Here it is. We go through this one. Base of that particular skull having two facets. Occipital condyles. Base of the skull having two protuberances, those we are going to call it as occipital condyles. These occipital condyles which are going to be attached with these occipital condyles, these these occipital condyles which are going to be attached with atlas. It is the first vertebral column. Okay, attached with the first vertebral column, that is going to be considered as dicondylic. Monocondylic means one occipital condyle which is going to be attached with atlas. So that condition is called monocondylic. I will write here it is. One occipital condyle attached with atlas. It is the first vertebral column. First vertebra. One occipital condyle which is going to be attached with atlas. This condition is called monocondylic. If it is two occipital condyles which are going to be attached with atlas, that condition is called dicondylic. So this we are going to be seeing these reptiles. Particularly in reptiles, monocondylic. Reptiles as well as the and birds. Reptiles and birds are, these are monocondylic. Remember this one. Okay. Next, birds, amphibia and mammals. Amphibia and mammals, which are dicondylic. So what is monocondylic? What is dicondylic? Reptiles and birds are monocondylic. Amphibia and mammals are dicondylic. Reptiles and birds are monocondylic. Amphibia and mammals are dicondylic. Okay, please go through. That is very, very important. Okay, so and these organisms which are having these organisms. Okay, these are also cold-blooded animals. So these are also cold-blooded. Kidneys. Kidneys are mesonephric. Okay, kidneys are mesonephric, and this urinary bladder absent. Urinary bladder is absent. These organisms are uricotelic. Uricotelic. These uricotelic means uric acid. They are going to be released as excretory material. Uric acid, excretory material. Uric acid is the excretory material. Uric acid is the excretory material. Uric acid is the excretory material. And sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. So sexes are separate. Sexes are separate. Male and female organisms are separate. Next, fertilization is internal. Fertilization is internal. Fertilization is internal. Fertilization is internal. So these are the general characteristic features of, and especially mainly these reptiles are oviparous. What is mean by oviparous? They are going to be laying the eggs. They are laying the eggs which are having shells on that particular eggs, laying the eggs, and these eggs which are going to be fertilization take, these eggs which are going to be hatching takes place, thereby baby offsprings which are going to be coming out. So this is about reptiles. This is about simply reptiles. Now we are going to be enter into the before in these reptiles. What are the examples you may get it? Examples in these reptiles particularly, I'll rate examples. Reptiles examples. Examples of reptiles. Examples of reptiles. Calotes. Okay. Next, chameleon, chelone. Okay, and snakes, some krait, naja. Okay, so these are the so many examples which are comes under reptiles. So many examples. Even what we call crocodiles also which are comes under crocodiles. Crocodiles are forgotten. Crocodiles. So these are the examples comes under reptiles. So these are the examples which are going to be comes under reptiles. Next, we are going to go through the another what we call birds. Aves or birds. Aves or birds. Okay. So in these birds, particularly, so these birds, general, if you take general characteristic features of birds, these birds are feathered. Birds are feathered and bipeds. Birds are feathered. Birds are feathered and bipeds. What is mean by bipeds? Here it is four whatever the four legs which are going to be modified into wings, and hind limbs which are going to be two legs which are going to be present. So these legs which are going to be responsible for that walking, and they are going to be walking on the trees, on land, that and all these legs which are going to be useful for that. Okay, wings are for that purpose of flying. Wings are which are going to be for the purpose of flying. Okay, next, if you take that particular beak is going to be streamlined. Beak of birds is going to be streamlined body. Previous class I told you what is mean by streamlined. So that suppose if you take that is the bird, so this is the streamlined. Okay, so sharp pointed, that beak is going to be sharp. This is the streamlined body. Okay, streamlined body. Beak is going to be. Next, if you take these are having legs are having scales. Legs are having scales, and these particularly feathers, which are produced, especially tail region of tail of feathers, tail of feather, glands which is going to present, those gland which are going to called as ile gland, also known as preen gland, ile gland, preen gland, and uropygial gland, uropygial gland, uropygial gland, uropygial gland, which produces the ile. What it will do, it produces the ile. This ile which is going to be spreads entire body, otherwise it is going to be skin is going to become dry. So spreading spreads by entire feathers. So thereby oil which is going to be entirely body which is going to be spreading takes place. Okay, next, so in these organisms, particularly endoskeleton which is going to be, and fully endoskeleton, it is going to be endoskeleton of birds, very important characteristic features. Endoskeleton of birds are fully ossified, bony material which is going to be present, bone marrow is going to be absent, bone marrow absent, and these bones are air filled cavities, bones are air filled cavities, so that's bones which we are going to call it as pneumatic bones. That is the reason why easily they can able to fly. Pneumatic bones. What is that? Pneumatic bones which are going to be fully modified air filled cavities which are going to be present. Okay, and these organisms having four chambered heart, and stomach, particularly which is having these alimentary canal which is having stomach, and special organ which is responsible for that digestion, that is gizzard which is going to be present, and these organisms having kidneys are which are going to be particularly metanephric, kidneys are metanephric, and if you take these birds, richest in RBC among all the animals, richest in RBC, more number of RBC which are present in cubic milliliter, more number of RBC which are present in cubic milliliter. So richest blood, simply what is that? Richest blood we are going to be observing birds which are having richest blood, and in these particularly eyes of these birds, suppose if you take a hawk, eyes of these birds having pectin material, this pectin protein which is visible, the objects clear visible. So even how hawks which are going to be while flying, they can able to see the even small bird which are going to be small, or animal which are going to be present on that land, they can able to clearly they can able to see because of pectin material, foam like material which is going to be present in their eyes, that is the pectin, material, that pectin material which is responsible for that clear vision, even a small organisms which are present on the land. Okay, pectin, it is going to be found in all the birds, this pectin material which is going to be present in all the birds except of course kiwi bird. Kiwi bird does not have this pectin material except all the birds. Okay, and voice box which are having syrinx, these birds which are going to be making noise, one bird have different noise they are going to make it. What is that? Voice box which are having syrinx, it's a voice box, Syrinx is the voice box. Syrinx is the voice box. And how many cranial? 12 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present. 12 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present. 12 pairs of cranial nerves which are going to present. So these are the general characteristic features of the birds. Birds are feathered, bipeds, wings which are going to be which are four limbs which are modified into wings which are for the purpose of flying, two legs which are for the walking and trees and various things. Beak is streamlined, body entire body is going to streamlined, and legs which are going to be having scales. Tail of this feathers which are having end of the tail of that particular organism having oil gland or preen gland or uropygial gland, with that oil which is going to produce, which is spreading entire the body, otherwise skin is going to become dry, feathers are going to become dry. That is the purpose, that oil gland which is going to be important. And endoskeleton is going to be of birds fully ossified bony material. There is no bone marrow in that. Inside empty air filled cavities which are going to present. These empty air filled cavities particularly, that is the reason why these are going to be easily, they are going to be flying takes place. So that is the purpose. These bones we are going to call it as pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones. Heart is going to be four chambered heart. Four chambered heart, and stomach and gizzard, specific structure of in stomach alimentary canal which is having, which is for the digestion of the food material. Gizzard which is having gizzard, making the small parts complex large parts which are going to be converted to simple small parts. Okay, kidneys are metanephric in nature. Voice box which is going to present for the making noise through the throat. Okay, that is syrinx. Okay, and in these eyes which are having particularly pectin material, comb like material, that pectin material which is present in all the birds. That is the reason why birds which are even while flying they can able to see the clearly objects which are present on the ground very clearly, except kiwi. Next, richest blood, because more number of RBC which are going to be present in the birds. So that's what richest blood. Richest blood which is going to be observed in birds. You can able to ask some of the questions. You can able to say ostrich, flightless, flightless bird. Flightless bird. It is going to be ostrich. Ostrich. Okay. Next, small bird, smallest bird. Smallest bird, hummingbird. Hummingbird. Smallest bird is going to be hummingbird. Hummingbird. Next, smallest living flightless. Smallest living flightless. It can't able to flight. So that is kiwi. Kiwi. So these are the some of the just general purpose. General purpose. Okay, and you know general other characteristic features. Birds, these are separate, male and sexual sexes are separate. Sexes are separate. Sexual dimorphism you can able to observe. Fertilization is going to be internal. Fertilization in these animals particularly you can able to, of course some of the fertilization is going to be internal, some they are going to be. So these are the general characteristic features of these particularly birds. Now we are going to see the other mammals. Mammals. Mammary gland, breast which are having, breast are having. Feed the animals, feeding the animals, milk giving animals, feeding animals, milk or milk giving animals, milk giving animals. Okay, so general, so we are also which are human beings also which are going to become under these mammals. So many general characteristic features which you can able to take it. They are on the found of the habitats, they are going to present in deserts, mountains, deserts. These organisms which are so many places, deserts, mountains, on land, water. You can able to take water also. You can able in the dolphins and whales which are comes under mammals. Okay, and external ear which is going to present different types of teeth which are going to present. External ears, external ear, different types of teeth you can able to observe. Heterodont teeth, heterodont teeth, heterodont teeth, different types of teeth, incisors, canines, premolars, molars, that and all different types of teeth you can able to observe. Okay, so many characters, not only these one, general characteristic features. Next, respiratory system which is going to present this respiration through the lungs, respiratory system which is going to present through the lungs. And if you take heart, is going to be four chambered heart which is going to be present, two auricles, two ventricles and two ventricles which are going to present. Okay, and excretory system which is having kidneys, metanephric kidneys which are going to present, metanephric kidneys which are going to present, and especially they are going to be, and all the systems specially which are going to be present, all the systems which are going to be present, each one having system, particularly sexes which are going to be present, fertilization is going to be internal, fertilization is going to be direct development. So many characteristic features. Whatever the characteristic features which are regarding maximum human beings, that type of characteristic features, all the characteristic features you can able to take it. Okay, so these are comes under generally seen in these mammals. So these in mammals. Examples, what are the examples you can able to take it? Examples: elephant, horse, rat. Okay, human beings. So many you can able to, lion, tiger. So many examples which are going to be comes under in these. Okay, so many examples which are going to be comes under in these mammals. So this is the general information which regarding. So with this what do we call vertebrata completed. Next class we are going to start the another chapter. Okay, thank you.